This is Lehigh Valley Political Pulse. I'm Tom Shortell. Each week, political scientist Chris Borick joins me to discuss the latest scientific-based research related to public opinion. We dive into the local, state, and national levels and what it all means for you. I'm sure that pretty much everyone listening received an email or a text soliciting money from a political campaign this year. According to OpenSecrets.com, the presidential campaigns each spent more than $1 billion on their campaigns, if you count expenses from allied political action committees. Chris, is this typical for presidential campaigns?
No, Tom. The numbers that we had this year for the presidential campaign is an extraordinary figure. We've seen over the last few cycles the continuous uptick of campaign finances, amounts spent on campaigns. What's happening is the slope of that line over the last decade has risen so sharply that we are breaking records almost every cycle, and we're blowing them away.
Is it clear what's driving that spike?
Well, there's a bunch of factors. One is the array of options that are available to campaigns in terms of places to reach voters. It used to be television and print, right? Was pretty much and radio. All those things still exist. But now look at where we receive our news and how we get our media and our entertainment on online platforms, and social media sites. And that's all of those sites, right? You can buy ads on. And there's in some ways more demand. We're in a hyper-polarized era right now where competition, we lived it, we experienced it in Pennsylvania this last cycle. And you could imagine the cost to get your message out.
I feel like we are being constantly bombarded with political messaging, as you point out, through all these different mediums now. Is that healthy for democracy?
Discourse is healthy for democracy. We want to have debates. We want to have conversation. It's the lifeblood, right? We should be debating things. The type of communication and discourse that goes on in political ads isn't necessarily your high-end fact-based debate, right? You look at the ads, they're often contextualized. They use all kinds of emotional tropes to get at where they're headed. I don't think it's necessarily best serving the democracy that we live in.
Open Secrets reports that Pennsylvania's 7th Congressional District cost $36.5 million. Does it surprise you that we had the 10th most expensive House race in the country?
I wouldn't say I was surprised. Everybody knows this district's highly coveted. It's competitive. It's also, we look at our media market here, and it's an interesting media market, right? We have lots of local media sources that people could reach out to, but a lot of our media comes through the Philadelphia media market, right? And
expensive TV market.
Very expensive TV market. When you give that figure, that is just extraordinary. And if you look over the course of campaigns in this district, this is the first time we've run even in this district as is configured right now after the redistricting the last time. But largely this district's been around for a long time in various forms. And to hear a number like that is startling.
Anna Thomas raised more than $1.5 million in a losing bid for the state's 137th House district. Do you see any lessons in that campaign for essentially the Nazareth area seat?
It was highly contested. Why would we spend that much on one of 203 state House races in Pennsylvania?
The district serves about 53,200 residents.
Yes. Think about the price tag per voter. And ultimately, you think, well, why would people give so much for a single district like that? Well, we do know in Pennsylvania the Democrats held a one-seat advantage. They were trying to hold on to that and maybe flip some seats. So we had a few. These were the outliers of state House races that reached those types of price tags. There's a handful of those that were in that range.
That's Muhlenberg College political science professor Chris Borick. This has been Lehigh Valley Political Pulse. I'm Tom Shortell. For an extended version of this interview, visit LehighValleyNews.com.